One of the things that was apparent at the time was that Pete was financially in a hole. And he had done some amazing ducking and diving. And I said to Pete, look, you're in difficulty financially. I'm very happy to give you my money that I just made. And in return, he gave me a piece of the company. And then he said, well, why don't you just run PWR?
I was saying to Pete, we should get our own studio. That's been my maxim throughout life. Do it yourself. Do everything yourself.
It seemed to be Mike driving it.
So at the beginning of 85, we came out of the Marquee and moved into our own studio.
You went down this cul-de-sac of what looked like Victorian warehouses.
The Vineyard being an old power station had very thick walls, so it had some acoustic properties.
You came across this brick building with these steel doors. But the way this place worked was, by the time you went up the staircase and into the studio, people were very relaxed. It was just a great atmosphere to be in.
We brought with us our team. Phil Harding came with us.
I could feel that this team was going somewhere.
There was a camaraderie there that was built up, which was part of our strength, I think. We were all pulling together.
We scrabbled around because, as I said, the phone wasn't going.
We were sitting at number one and thinking, well, we're in our new studio here. What are we going to do?
Well, we've got to make a living. We've got bills to pay.
We took on a band called Brilliant. The lady they got to do the backing vocals on that was called Princess, or she was called Desiree Heslop, stage name Princess, and I thought, that's a good voice.
They called me for the session, I came to do it, they liked how I sounded, and that's how I started to get to know people.
We wrote 2 songs that afternoon, and there was one track called Save Your Love for Your Number One. And I changed that to Say I'm Your Number One, and as soon as I said that, Mike nearly fell off his chair.
Come the evening, I asked Desiree if she would stay behind and sing Say I'm Your Number One.
I said, I've got to do this. I can get paid for doing what I love.
It's a song which couldn't be more different from You Spin Me Round.
The original demo was kind of a Billie Jean feel. Not exactly like that, but more of a mid-tempo thing. It was Mike's brainwave to turn it into more of a Jam and Lewis thing after he'd heard Desiree Princess singing.
So I would do any little thing that, you know, say anything little thing that came to me, and they would be like, yeah, we'll keep that. And I was part of it all, you know? It was my baby too.
Pete was on holiday. I finished the record, mixed it with Phil Harding, and stuck a cassette on Pete's desk for when he came back, see what he thought of it. Because at the time we was searching around what to do, so I had sort of taken a venture out, as it were, with an unknown girl singing an unknown song. And when Pete came back off holiday, he heard it, and I could hear the commotion in the office. He was whooping everywhere, and he loved it.
Hearing the name Princess, I said, you can't call her Princess.
You said Princess? It's a dog's name.
We've got a prince. You can't have a prince and princess.
Look how many times you've said it. And he said, all right, a princess, all right then. So then he warmed to it.
She was amazing.
I did pour emotion into it. And no matter what, people feel that. If you're feeling it, they invariably do. It had that dust on it.
Pete said, look, I've just got this studio in South London. I'll give you a desk, set a label up, set Supreme up. Pete played me saying number one. He said, look, I've tried to place this with the major publishers and they've turned it down. I think it's a hit.
And then finally, when it released, you know, we broke into the top 10 again.
She was almost perfect artist. incredible voice, very articulate, very good at doing interviews. She had a really unique image. She really stood out.
Well, we did an album with Princess. We did several other sort of R&B-ish tracks around that time.
It was so organic. It was so natural. It was so... We were so cool with each other. Everybody was fine. We had... It was a love affair. No matter what they do, I'm gonna keep on loving you. No matter what they say, they'll never let me walk away. This far down the line, it's still an easy thing to say. I'll keep on loving you. We were family. Really were like family.
And we had a lot of success with Princess, and she was offered a big deal from Polydor, which we couldn't compete with, and she signed with Polydor.
We could have gone on for a long time, I think. There were other things. They were also dealing with other artists now, and the kind of attention that I would have required to present the next stage of Princess wasn't immediately available.
Bananarama came to us because Siobhan came up with this idea of doing Venus.